On October 21st, 1975, two baseball teams filled with some of the greatest and most memorable players in history played the best World Series game ever. And we're telling the story through the cards we love. This is Game 6, presented by Wax Pack Wisdom. Today, we're covering the 7th and 8th innings of the game. Between the 1975 regular and postseason, Luis Tiant had thrown over 290 innings by the time he took the hill for the 7th inning in Game 6. Between that workload and the power of the Big Red Machine, Tiant's outing would fall apart starting in the 7th. Ken Griffey and Joe Morgan opened with back-to-back singles. Darryl Johnson went out for a mound visit but stuck with Tiant, who promptly retired Johnny Bench and Tony Perez on flyouts. But George Foster gave the Reds a 5-3 lead by smashing a line shot double off the center field wall, quieting the Fenway crowd. Dave Concepcion grounded out to end the inning, but the damage was done. The Red Sox went quietly in the bottom of the 7th against Pedro Borbon. Johnson allowed Tiant to start the 8th with Cesar Geronimo, who hit just 6 home runs during the regular season, and then the pitcher spot due up. But Geronimo crushed the first pitch from Tiant deep to right field, hooking it around the foul pole for a home run to make it a 6-3 game. After 122 pitches, Johnson took the ball from Tiant, who received a standing ovation from the Fenway faithful. Into the game came left-handed reliever Roger Moret. He set down Borbon, who hit for himself, Rose, and Griffey in order. The Reds were 6 outs away from winning the 1975 World Series. Desperation was starting to set in amongst the crowd as Fred Lynn came to bat against Borbon in the bottom of the 8th. Lynn drilled a ground ball off Borbon's leg and reached on an infield single. Next, Rico Petrocelli drew a walk. Once again, Sparky Anderson went to his bullpen, this time to right-hander Raleigh Eastwick, the soon-to-be 25-year-old who'd been Anderson's relief ace for 1975. Eastwick got Dwight Evans to strike out swinging, and then Rick Burleson to fly out to Foster. With the pitcher's spot due, Johnson picked the lefty batting Bernie Carbo to pinch hit. Carbo was born in Detroit and experienced a traumatic childhood at the hands of an abusive alcoholic father and a mother who attempted suicide in front of him at least once. Carbo himself became an alcoholic at the age of 16. Despite this, he excelled at baseball. In the first ever baseball amateur draft in 1965, Carbo was the first ever pick of the Cincinnati Reds. The second round pick was Johnny Bench. Carbo was talented but was noted in the minors for both his temper and lack of effort to take the game seriously. He also developed habits around illicit drugs, including marijuana, cocaine, and later crystal meth, among others. In 1968, Carbo came under the tutelage of Sparky Anderson, then managing in the Reds minor league system. He helped straighten Carbo out on the field, and his numbers improved. Carbo debuted in the majors in 1969, and Anderson became Reds manager in 1970. That year, the Reds won the pennant, and Carbo had a phenomenal rookie season, hitting .310 and finishing second in the National League Rookie of the Year voting. But despite Anderson's fondness, he would later say, quote, "I never loved a player more than I loved Bernie Carbo," close quote. The Reds traded Carbo to the Cardinals in 1972 when his play declined, due in no small part to his drug and alcohol abuse. The Cardinals in turn traded Carbo to the Red Sox after the 1973 season, where he became both a fan and media favorite and carved out a critical bench role on the club. He batted .257 with 15 homers, backing up the star-studded, pennant-winning outfield of 1975. Carbo would also play for the Brewers, Indians, Cardinals, and the Pirates in a 12-year career, hitting .264. He hit rock bottom in 1993, after his parents died and his marriage dissolved. With assistance from former teammates, Carbo went into recovery. He formed Diamond Club Ministry, traveling the country speaking to young people about religion, baseball, and the dangers of drug and alcohol abuse. On the field, this at-bat in Game 6 would be the most consequential of Carbo's career. Anderson stuck with Eastwick to face Carbo, even though he still had lefty Will McEnany available in the bullpen. On the 2-2 pitch, Carbo barely fought off an Eastwick offering with a defensive hack that Carlton Fisk later called, quote, the worst swing in the history of baseball, close quote. On the next pitch, Carbo connected on a fastball, driving it deep to straightaway center field. The ball landed in the bleachers for a 3-run home run. The Red Sox, 4 outs away from their season ending, tied the game at 6, thanks to Carbo's blast. The crowd went absolutely berserk, and Carbo raised his arms in celebration as he encircled the bases. They were still cheering when Cooper came to the plate and struck out to end the 8th. Next time, we'll cover the 9th, 10th, and 11th innings of Game 6. Today's episode of Game 6, presented by Wax Pack Wisdom, was written by Jake T. O'Donnell. Do you have a memory from Game 6 to share? Please leave a comment and let us know. Special thanks to Dan's Vintage Baseball PC and Mark Hoyle's Impossible Dream for sharing pieces of their collection for this video. In the description of this video, you'll find links to our source material, where you can follow our social media channels and our list of favorite nonprofits and charities. Please consider a donation to one of them if you enjoyed this content. We'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Thanks for watching, and take care.